piece of paper.
Okay, he'll be right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order for welcome to the Lincoln City Council meeting for May 3rd, 2021. In accordance with LB 898, please be advised that there's a copy of the Opens Meeting Act which is posted on the back of the chamber at the northwest door. Let us all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief period, a moment of silent meditation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here. The order of the business of the City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda under public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on an item must first register and sign into the table in the lobby, and the council shall require any member of the public desiring to address the council to identify himself or herself, including an address and the name of the organization represented by such person, unless the address requirement is waived to protect the security of the individual. Anyone wishing to speak on an item on the agenda should come forward after the clerk reads that item. The applicant then may make one short rebuttal. Each speaker should begin by stating their name, address, and if they're represented by an organization or representing an organization, and whether you're speaking in favor or in opposition to that item. Testimony is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. After all the public hearings, the council will vote on the resolutions and then items listed under third reading. On the second and last Monday of the month, immediately prior to adjournment, anyone may speak on any issue not on the agenda for that date nor planned for a future agenda. Madam Clerk, will you call the first item of business?
First up is public hearing consent agenda. We have items 1A through 2D.
Is there anybody in the chamber that'd like to come forward on any of the consent agenda? Items 1A or 2A or B? Okay, seeing none, we can move on.
Okay, we can vote on item 1A. It's approving the distribution of funds representing interest earnings on short-term investments of idle funds during the month ended March 31st, 2021, introduced by Raybold.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilperson Christensen. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Bowers,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Next up, we have items 2A through 2B. It's the setting the hearing dates for our liquor applications, introduced by Christensen.
So moved.
Second?
Been moved and seconded by Councilperson Ward. Any comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, we move on to public hearing for liquor resolutions.
First up is item 4A. It's the manager application of Tracy Sanford for Sidecar Cider LLC, doing business as Cerro Cider, located at 1746 N Street.
Yay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And if you could raise your right hand and just, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Sanford?
State her name and address.
Yes, I'm sorry.
My name is Tracy Sanford. You need my business address? 1746 N Street in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I am representing Sidecar Cider, doing business as Cerro Cider.
Any comments, questions? Seeing none, thank you for coming down. Appreciate it.
That's it.
Anybody else like to come forward on this item? Seeing none, we can move on to the next.
Next up, I will be calling item 4B and 4C together. It's the application of El Potro Mexican Restaurant LLC, doing business as El Potro Mexican Restaurant for a Class I liquor license located at 3410 South 10th Street, and the related manager application of Imelda Onate. Can you raise your right hand as well? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Please state your name and address.
Imelda Onate, 3410 South 10th Street in Lincoln, and I'm here representing El Potro Mexican Restaurant.
Do we have any questions? Yes, Councilperson Washington.
Good afternoon. Can you tell us a little bit about your business?
So it's a family restaurant, family sit-down restaurant. It's just Mexican food, a lot of like more of the homemade cuisine type of thing, and we'll be having alcohol. We'd like to have alcohol.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Councilperson Shob.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. This is in the old Pizza Hut building? Is it-
Yes.
Okay.
And when are you open?
Yes.
We are open for like food and everything right now, but we don't have.
What are your hours?
So Monday through Friday, or Monday through Saturday right now, it is from 11 to 9, and then Sundays from 11 to 8.
Thank you. I know.
Thank you.
That's it.
Anybody else like to come forward, speak on this item?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of items 4A, B, and C.
Second?
And moved and seconded by Councilperson Raybold. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, please call a roll.
Christensen,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, move on to 5A.
Item 5A is approving a partner agreement between the city on behalf of the Parks and Recreation Department and Ducks Unlimited for the North American Wetlands Conservation Act.
Good afternoon, Lynn. Excuse me.
We were both saying good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lynn Johnson with Lincoln Parks and Recreation. This is a three-party partnership agreement between Ducks Unlimited, the Lower Platte South Natural Resources, and the City of Lincoln. What this essentially does is it provides both the Lower Platte South NRD and Parks and Recreation access to grant funds that Ducks Unlimited secured. They secured $1 million grant through the North American Wetland Conservation Act funds. The grant period is through June of 2023. The purpose of the fund is for acquisition, conservation of saline wetlands, and also habitat development. There is a matching provision, and really the Saline Wetlands Conservation Partnership has been in place for almost 20 years at this point, and the partners involved in the project are used to putting together and utilizing braided funding. So I would tell you that we don't have any concerns about securing the needed matching funds, and we've got commitments from the other partners to help us do that. I think that's all I've got, unless there are questions about
Do you have any
this.
questions for Director? Yes.
Good afternoon,
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Johnson. Thanks so much for coming down. This looks like a really good partnership. I was impressed with the fact that it's a three-party agreement, and that everyone looks like they've worked well together. In adding up the figures and looking at the description of the agreement, it looks as though that there's still money on the table. And I was curious, since the grant is open until 2023, will there be additional parcels or additional funds coming to this agreement?
So my understanding is that the answer is yes. For example, Pheasants Forever is a partner in the Saline Wetland Conservation Partnership. They have identified funding that they would bring to the project as well. The Nebraska Game and Parks Commission has also been a significant partner in this effort, and they continue to bring funding to the table on a regular basis as well.
Thank you. I very much would like to see the full $1 million accessed, so let's go.
And we're excited. This is a team that has had great success, and there's some significant parcels out there yet to be acquired, although we're getting fairly close to having good contiguity of those parcels along Little Salt Creek and to the east.
Any other comments? Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to come forward to speak on this item? Seeing none, we can move on to vote on this one.
Okay, item 5A, approving a partner agreement between the city on behalf of the Parks and Recreation Department and Ducks Unlimited for the North American Wetlands Conservation Act, introduced by Christensen.
So moved.
Second.
And moved and seconded by Councilperson Washington. Any other questions? This is a good thing.
It's a very good thing. Kind of salty.
Boom, boom.
Sorry.
Please call the roll.
Raybold,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you. That ends our public hearing for the afternoon. We move on to 6, ordinances, third reading.
Item 6A is an ordinance to temporarily extend the terms of certain City of Lincoln permits and licenses due to the COVID-19 pandemic by delaying expiration dates of certain permits, licenses, and registrations, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second.
Second, moved and seconded by Councilperson Christensen. Any comments or questions? Okay, please call the roll.
Schob,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 6B is adopting the supplements to the Lincoln Municipal Code dated June 2020 and December 2020 as part of the official Lincoln Municipal Code, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Been moved and seconded by Councilperson Raybold. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Christensen,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 6C is amendment to public safety quarter-cent sales tax capital improvement projects, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded by Councilperson Christensen. Any other comments or questions?
It's good to see this finally come to a close. As we're talking about the first quarter-cent sales tax for public safety.
This puts it down to the dollar.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what I was going to say. Okay.
We kept our word. We
It's a
did
good
what we
thing.
promised.
It's a very good thing.
City kept its word. The city did what it promised.
Yeah, it did what it promised it was going to do. Okay. Please call the roll.
Ward,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 6D is approving the Argent project redevelopment agreement between Argent Group, Inc., an Illinois corporation and the city relating to the redevelopment of property generally located at the southwest corner of the intersection of 14th and N Streets and adjacent rights-of-way in downtown Lincoln, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Been moved and seconded by Councilperson Raybold. Yes. Councilperson Ward.
Mr. Chair, I would move to amend with motion number 1.
Second?
And we have a second, thanks.
Been
And-
moved and seconded by Councilperson Raybold.
Yeah, so you can talk about it.
Okay, thank you. And we were explained at directors, we had the explanation at directors meeting what this amendment does, which effectively changes the date of the building permit from March 1, 2021 to March 1, 2022, and changes the deadline for the first footings and foundation inspection from May 1, 2021 to May 1, 2022.
Okay. Any comments on the motion to amend? See none, please call a roll on the amendment.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, any questions or comments on the main motion? This is a real good thing. Okay, please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 6E is amending the fiscal year 2020-2021 CIP to authorize and appropriate $14,131,543 in TIF funds for the Argent Project redevelopment project, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded by Councilperson Christensen. Any comments or questions?
All these coming up are good things for developing our city.
Yes. And it's quite a project. Okay, please call the roll.
Bowers,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 6F is authorizing the issuance of tax allocation bonds for the Argent redevelopment project in an amount not to exceed $14,131,543, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded by Councilperson Washington. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Washington,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
I'm going to step out and recuse myself for the next 3 items.
All right. Next up is item 6G, approving the Golds Building redevelopment agreement between Golds Multifamily Partners LLC and the city relating to the redevelopment of property generally located at 1023 and 1033 O Street in adjacent rights-of-way in downtown Lincoln, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Ward. Any discussion? Seeing none, could we please do a roll call vote?
Christensen,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Next is item 6H, amending the fiscal year 2020-2021 CIP to authorize and appropriate $6,126,000 in TIF funds for the Golds Building redevelopment project, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Christensen, seconded by Washington, or seconded by Raybold. Any discussion? Councilwoman Raybold?
I just want to say that these two projects that we're voting on and the amount of tax increment financing, plus the administrative costs that will be captured by the city, will allow us to do more affordable housing, even though these two projects are not offering that type of housing stock. The good news is the amount of TIF and the contributions they're making to the downtown, plus the contributions that are going to be going towards affordable housing are significant. So they are good things.
Thank you for noting that.
Any further comments? Seeing none, may we please do a roll call vote?
Raybold,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Washington.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
One more time, right?
Next is item 6I, authorizing the issuance of tax allocation bonds for the Golds Building redevelopment project in an amount not to exceed $6,126,000, introduced by Bowers.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Christensen, seconded by Ward. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please do a roll call vote?
Schob,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Christensen,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Boo.
Thank you, Councilman Bowers. Appreciate it.
It's a good test run.
Okay.
And that ends the voting session. Next is our resolutions first reading. We have items 7A through 7F. Ordinances first readings are items 8A through 8B. Then we have our pending list 9A through 9C.
Councilperson Christensen.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to remind all of Lincoln to vote tomorrow, and I move adjournment.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adjourn and agree. Please, everyone, go vote tomorrow. Please call the roll.
Christensen,
Yes.
Bowers,
Yes.
Raybold,
Yes.
Washington, Ward,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
McGinnis.
Yes,
Motion carried 7-0.
we stand adjourned.